I'm a little disgusted. Didn't work, but it is what it is. I'll figure it out. I thought I had this thing. I thought I had no idea that this was gonna be a chore. Um, but yo, we back. So once again, for y'all just tuning in, I'm a little bit late because I'm trying to get my camera together. But we are the Boys Club, Rich Dollaz, Sean Prez. I'm about to get my man Prez in here now. We can go ahead and start this up. Looks like I'll be holding my phone in my hand again. Where is Sean Prez? Y'all hit Prez, tell him let's go. It's go time. 7:30 p.m. every Wednesday night. We go hard. We do the relationship chatter, relationship conversations. So yeah, let's get it done, guys. There you go, Prez. What up? So yeah,
Rich, what up, kid? How you? Any better?
It doesn't turn around.
Okay. Let's keep it moving. People are, well, first and foremost, welcome everybody. It's Wednesday night, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Y'all know what it is. It's the Boys Club. I go by the name of Sean Prez. Got my partner in crime, Richie D. For anybody who's been following us, you know this is probably the realest, most direct, in-your-face relationship talk you're ever gonna hear. And for anybody who's just joining us, think of this as your ability, especially if you're a woman, it's your ability to be in the barbershop, to be in that locker room, to be where there's only guys when they're talking about girls and relationships. So this is just real talk coming from the mind of men. So Rich, where you at, Rich?
I'm back.
Let me know when you're focused.
I'm been focused. I'm disgusted. I'm gonna be disgusted while I'm looking at this goddamn tripod that I can't turn around. But go ahead.
Okay. You know, we got so much to go over, and it's been so much going on week over week. Let's try to get through as much of this as humanly possible. Y'all know the first hour was just dialogue between me and Rich. Second hour, we let in callers. So if you're trying to get into the conversation, please hold off until the second hour and then hit that plus button down below. That alerts us that you want to be part of the conversation. All right, Rich, I'm going to just start random because there's so much going on. And there's so many things that you and I have talked about that have presented themselves this week. You know, Kim Kardashian, as we all knew, it was inevitable that her and Pete Davidson was going to break up. It was inevitable because she breaks up with everybody. She has not had a successful relationship. And I don't even say this as a knock to her. I'm just saying this purely factual. She has not had a successful relationship in many years, if ever. But more important, I knew that this one was going to be short-lived because me and you often talk about taking your time. Don't go just from man to man. Put yourself on the bench for a second. So I want to get your thoughts on that breakup. Let's take Kim and you know, Pete Davidson and Kanye out of the picture. I want to talk about two things that me and you always harp on week over week. Number one is giving yourself a breather. Sit down before you get into a new relationship, regroup. And secondly, this woman done bought this man around her kids. Like literally she has interviewed. This is a relationship that's been going on now for 8 months. And Pete was part of the family. So here's another man that's come and gone. What is, just using them as an example, what is your thoughts with this?
My thoughts are this. Well, I'm gonna go in briefly, real short, because I don't want to diatribe about this whole thing. But I will say that I'm a firm believer that the Kardashians do things for different reasons than other people. I firmly believe this in my heart of hearts, bro, that this shit is for social media. This shit is for that fucking television show. This shit is for
everything other than the real reasons that one would be in a relationship. So I'm done with that. But that's how I feel about them. So I feel like being with a man for them is different than a normal person, because for me it's monetary, or it's for clout, it's for social media, it's for whatever it is. Now, with that being said, that takes her and why she would do that, what she did with him for that amount of time, and bask in the glory of Kanye losing his mind. And it creates amazing storyline, and it creates amazing topic of conversation, and it helps you sell nude fucking Beat by Dre's and perfume and all the other fucking things that they have a part of their conglomerate. That's why I believe that those girls do what they do. For a normal person, number one, bench. Women need to understand.
Your sound went out for a second. You said number one, what?
Number one, women need to put themselves on the bench when leaving a relationship, because now you're going into a relationship with a man who thinks that you're on an even playing field, who thinks that it's just game on, when in reality, you're just playing around. You're gonna tell him in 8 months that you don't want to marry him. This man's ready to propose to you. This man is telling you he loves you. This man is telling you he's ready to be a stepfather to your children. And that's not how you feel, because that was never your intention in the first place. But yet you go out there and you involve yourself in these relationships, and you involve yourself to the degree that this person thinks that y'all are really together, when in reality, you just playing. You just having a good time. And that's cool. But play it like that. When you're having a good time, you don't bring people around your kids. You don't let them take your kids to parks and on trips and field days, and you don't drive your baby father crazy with this man who you're not even serious about.
Let me ask you something, Rich, before you go further. Do you know something we don't know? Do you know that that's the reason that they broke up, because he was serious and she wasn't?
The man proposed to her.
He did?
The man proposed to her and she said no.
I didn't even know that, but go ahead.
Yes, the man proposed to her and she said no. She said that it was too fast. She wasn't ready. But I don't know Pete Davidson, so I'm going. This is a hot topic, right? So I don't know him personally, but I heard that's his bio. I heard he was like that with Ariana Grande too. Like he just fell head over heels for her and lost his mind and was like, "Yo, I want you to." Like that's probably part of his mental thing that he got going on. Like, right? Like that's part of his whole makeup. So yeah, that's what happened with that. For women in general, y'all need to go into relationships understanding and being on the same page with the person that you're dealing with. It's not fair to him, and it's not fair to you. Men are considered the devil when they jump in relationships and they just want to fuck, have a good time, maybe have a couple drinks and do some shit. We the devil. We the devil when we do that. But when women do it, it seems like it's okay. When women are getting out of relationships and not taking this relationship serious, and you're just a conduit to get rid of the last guy, you want to get out and have some fun and have some drinks and kick it, all we're saying is be on the same page. Express that, because relationships are based on communication. And if you are in a relationship and the person you're with thinks that it's going somewhere that it has no real opportunity to go, then you being dirty. That's a dirty game. That's not right. You know what I'm saying? So just all I'm saying is be on the same page, communicate. Don't bring your kids around somebody. You don't want, like, these kids are young and you just bring these kids willy-nilly. Like, understand where y'all are going, what y'all are trying to do. Vet each other. Them children shouldn't be all up in this man's circumference until you ready to commit. And when y'all are ready to commit, then you move forward with that. Unless, of course, you just happen to bump into a woman that you meet at Target and she got her son with her. That's a whole different situation. Now you just met him by proxy. But the reality is, communicate, be on the same page. When you're doing this relationship stuff, Come on, man. It's just about honesty. That's all I'm saying. And don't use one nigga to get back at your old nigga and drive him crazy and have this nigga with mental health issues, and you don't even really have no real desire to be with the new nigga. You just using them. That ain't right. Just like if a dude did that, that ain't right. And if a girl did that, that ain't right.
Okay. I was gonna go someplace completely different, but I got to piggyback off what you just said, because that brings a whole other variable into this conversation. So I'm gonna start with, Rich, we talk about the same, and it's almost like maybe God maybe it's somebody on this line that just need to hear this. Maybe they wasn't here last week, the week before that. It's okay to just take, you break up with your man, you were in a long-term situation. It's okay to hit the pause button. Nobody said hit the stop button. I said hit the pause. Sit down somewhere. Gather your thoughts. Everybody is rushing to the finish line. They rush it. I want to get married. I want to be in a relationship. I want this. If you're not at peace with yourself, if you have emotional baggage that you still have to deal with, and I don't even say that in a bad way. I'm just saying, if there's things that you still need to deal with, maybe you should just hit the pause button. So when we look at a situation like this, I'm just a firm believer, and I'm very blunt about how I feel, especially about women and men. I think kids are off limits, and kids will be what they see. So if they see daddy bringing a new woman in and out of his life all day, every weekend, there's somebody new. If you got a little boy, he's gonna emulate what he sees his father doing. And if you have a girl, she's going to see that as normal. Number one, because there's two ways it can go. She can see that as normal, and now she got no problem bringing men in and out of her life, and she's considered the town hoe, but she's good. This is what my daddy did, or my mother did, whatever. But the flip side is, now she don't trust nobody. None of these women who my dad was bringing into his life, for him, we knew what it was. We was laughing at them. They was going to be gone next week. But she is looking at the most important person in her life and saying, yo, he's giving me every reason not to trust a man. And if her mother's doing it, she's clearly looking at that as, yo, hoish behavior is acceptable. So I just think that it is very, very important. Your children, I don't care what you do. Even if you was in a relationship and you going through it with your baby father, your baby mother, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, keep the kids out of it. They're going to be products of what you make them. So that's that. But this also brings to light something else that you and I, we constantly talk about the same thing. And you said that this man wanted, or he proposed to her, she said it was too quick, right? Have the hard conversations up front. And if this was the other way around, most women would be ecstatic with that, right? Like most women would be, yes, I found Mr. Right. 9 months later, 8 months later, he proposed to me. God is good. You finally blessed me with the one. Thank you, Jesus. But because they didn't have the hard conversations up front, what are you looking for? What are you in this for? Like what do you want the outcome of us to be? From what you're telling me, he wants to get married. He falls head over heels for women. And for her, and I can't blame her, she's been married 3 times. I'm not looking for marriage. I'm looking to take things slow. I'm looking for anything but that. But I can almost guarantee you that that discussion did not happen up front. And now he gets into it. This is the love of my life. I finally found the one, this, that, and the third. I proposed to her, and she's talking about, I'm out.
I think you missing it though. Like,
go ahead. But
Rick,
you're thinking about them. I'm thinking about regular people.
I'm talking about everybody.
Go ahead.
If you are in it and your concern is not the other person, then you're never going to have the hard conversations because you're in it for what you can get out of it. That doesn't have to be monetary. That doesn't have to be bags or trips or anything like that. When you're in a relationship or you're dating someone, if you guys are not on the same page, and it doesn't even have to be like the hard conversation, like what are we doing? It just has to be what you, like where you are in your life. Like women and men both of us, all of us do it. You see a beautiful woman in a grocery store, you see a beautiful woman in a club, and you have a motivation, or you have a lust, and you go after, you chase that lust, and you never really think it's going to amount to anything. You really never ever consider the next person's feelings. You never ever consider anything other than what you're trying to get out of it. And that's why the important conversations are never hard. I mean, they're never had these days.
Okay, so what am I missing? Because it sounds like you're saying what I'm saying. So what am I missing?
What I'm saying is we get on here and we preach old school values.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, when I re-listen to what we did, like tomorrow I'll go onto the Boys Club YouTube and I'll listen to what we did today, and I'll say, we have really, really good advice coming from somebody who's experienced and been there. But I don't know that people today really take heed to the shit we say. And it's sad because we saying the right things, but I think that the value system and the way people move today in this world is so fucked up that I don't know that our advice is really, really being taken. Like people are like, yo, them niggas know what they talking about. Them people, because I feel like this world is in a different place. Like there's a lot of people on here like, yeah, we understand what you're saying, and I understand that. But at the same time, I'm talking to the people that aren't listening to us, like that don't pay attention and really just looking at the comments and shit. Like we saying some real shit. And if you really listen to the shit we say, you will be like, wow, the motherfuckers really know what they're talking about. Like they have experience, they've done this before, they've been in relationships. But I feel like the value system, Sean, is so fucked up out here today that I don't even know that people really, really will be willing. I guess it's because we talk about doing work. What we talk about is work, right? Like actually vetting and asking the questions and communicating. That shit is actually work. I don't know that people today want to do work. I don't know that people today get in relationships and actually be like, I wanna do work. Like one person will do all the work and the other person will be in cruise control. But very rarely do I feel like two people are vested and really, really, really do the work.
You know, Rich, I was trying to figure out where you coming from with your frustration, and I think I got it. But here's what I would say to that. Call it old school advice, call it what you want. Truth is truth. In truth stands the test of time. All of us, me, you, and the 225 people who are on this live right now, we were all kids at one time. And our parents beat stuff in our head that we thought was old school. We thought they didn't know what they were talking about. We wanted to do things our way. But the older you get, the more you realize our mother knew exactly what she was doing. But sometimes it takes experience. And sometimes it takes you hitting those bumps in the road. And sometimes it takes you going through them valleys before you have that epiphany and it's like, this is exactly what my mother's been talking about. And when I'm telling you, and I'm sure our parents, your mother, my mother, and everybody else's, was frustrated with us when we was hard-headed and not listening and doing what we wanted to do. But it didn't change. They didn't change parenting. They didn't change doing what was right. And what I'm telling you is, all we can do, we're two men, and we're experienced, and we have been there, we've done it again, and we've done it on high levels. If a woman who is sitting home is like, I don't want to hear that, the world changed, this, that, okay, keep effing up. But I'm telling you, different things you can do up front. It might not be the silver bullet you're looking for. It might not be the end all be all, but it is things that women can do up front that will almost certainly help them from either getting with the wrong guy, staying with the wrong guy, staying around too long when they should have been out, signs to look for, the red flags, the this, that, and that. So I get that you might be frustrated. I get that the world might have changed, but I don't think anything we're saying is old school per se. I just think it's right. And telling somebody, yo, sometimes sit down, chill. You don't have to rush relationship to relationship just because he shows interest in you. Maybe it's some stuff you got to deal with. You're not ready for him yet just because he shows interest now. Bringing people around your kids. I don't think that's old school advice. That's real advice.
Today people lead with their children, bro. Today,
it's ridiculous.
people lead with their children. They lead with their children. They do.
I just think it's ridiculous, and we can look at them. I mean, we can look at this one example, but again, right? This is another man for whatever reasons. Even if she's like, I wasn't ready for marriage. Mm-hmm. Okay, but you was ready to bring these kids into your life. I mean, you was ready to bring this man into your life, not just into your bedroom, but into your life. If you did not want more, that's fine. Keep them out. Like see them on Wednesdays when you don't have the kids. When the kids is with their father every other weekend, see them then. You don't have to integrate your new man into your world. You don't have to do it. And if he's a real man, he'll be like, yo, you know what? I respect you even more for that. So I'm fine with not coming around when you have the kids. I'm fine with seeing you on the weekends when the kids are with the baby father. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And I think any real man don't respect that.
I agree. I just don't know. I guess. I can't really disagree with you because I 100% agree with everything you're saying. I just feel like in today's world, people lead with certain things that we don't deem to be things that you should lead with. Like I don't think that you should lead with children. I don't think that you should I don't think you should go out there and automatically put your children in the line, and not for lack of a better terminology, put your children in the line of fire. Like your children should be sheltered until you are absolutely positively sure that this is what you want this to be. You should never have your children around anything that's iffy, right? It should be all the way up until the point where you decide that this is something that I want. We're getting ready to go to the next level. Now I need to integrate the kids. But I don't think people do that. I think people today go with the theory that I'm letting you know off top what it is, nigga. Immediately, this is what it is. Take it or leave it. We don't have to waste each other's time. If you don't like the fact that I got these 5 crumb snatchers that I'm about to have around, then that means that you don't really want to be around. It ain't about, because I'm not trying to find a sitter. I'm not trying to do all that, because this is the day and age of pure laziness and pure 100% lack of reciprocation. So I'm letting you know off top what it is, homie. And this is what it is. And this is what the baggage that I come with. And this is what I got. And if you all about that life, then nigga, you going to be involved in it from day one. I'm not finna bring them around you in 3 months when we've determined that this is something that we want to do, or I'm comfortable. That's the way it is now. And that's essentially what I'm saying, is that our values are like, it's almost like when your father told you that you needed to go left. You got to work on your left hand, bro. You want to go, but you refuse to do it until you realize that it really was something that you needed to do. Now it's the same thing with these relationships. You can tell people all day what they want, what they should do, and how to do it, and how to vet. But I just don't think that these people are out here doing it these days. I think that it's a new day, and they think that they got their shit together. And this is why the relationship world is so fucked up. This is why women are asking where the men at. Men are asking where the women at. Once you find what you thought was a good man or a good woman, you divorced in fucking 6 months, 8 months, a year. None of this shit ever lasts anymore. This is the biggest divorce rate of anything in the history of freaking marriage. So I just feel like everything is so upside down right now. The world is so upside down right now that it's kind of just disgusts me that none of this shit, people don't take heed to none of this shit. Like it's just, and I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, but what, you know, you're answering your own argument, Rich, and then we'll switch subjects because we got so much to go over. You're answering your own argument, right? You just said the divorce rate is the highest it's ever been in the history of this country. Okay. Obviously, with all the change that's going on, with all the new rules and the way the world is today, there is something clearly wrong and different, right? Rich, you should put the light in front of you, behind the camera, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what the problem is. But you know, people can refer to this as old school advice. Okay. It works. It works. And it'll save you so much heartbreak. I feel sorry for people who bring kids, for people who bring men or women in and out of the lives of the kids. I feel sorry for the kids, man. I think it confuses them. I think that it puts them in a position that when they're dating and when they're trying to find a significant other, you know, again, our kids will be what they see. And they are confused in, you know, how do I get a man? You know, I just saw a revolving door. Or how do I get a woman? I just saw a revolving door. I mean, it's just crazy. But let's switch topics for a second, right? I got so many things along the same line. I hope we can get to it in this week. If not, we'll hold off on something. Okay. I'm gonna go to something that happened 2 weeks ago, and it'll lead me to something that happened this week. So a man sued a woman, literally sued a woman. He spent $1,100 on their first date. and the chick called her ex-boyfriend to come pick her up. So he sued her for damages and I want my money back, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 right? So we ain't got to go into that because something happened earlier this week that I'm just like, whoa. Because again, it's something we talk about all the time. A man flew this chick halfway across America to LA. She accepted the trip. She stayed with him first night, walked around the room butt naked with the towel on. After having a shower, he took her out to eat dinner. She ordered lobster. Like literally, this is facts. She ordered the lobster. She didn't go to the cheap side of the menu. So on the second night of them being together in this hotel room, him, like anybody else, is like, yo, so when are we gonna be intimate? And that's when all hell broke loose. Cause she told this man, like, yo, I'm not giving up the coochie, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. So he did. He plays by the new rules. He went on his live and aired her out, drove her to the airport, canceled the airline ticket. She get to the airport, ain't got no money, talking about, yo, I can't afford to get back home. So my question is, well, we'll start with the second example. Is that woman in the wrong? She flew, it's her body. It is her body. She allowed this man to fly out. He spent, according to him, $5,000 between hotel, dinner, picking her up, flights, the whole nine. And she said, no, I never agreed to this. I never told you was going to get none. Is she out of line? Or is it a given that this was, me and you talk about having hard conversations up front? Is this one of them times he should have had this conversation before he ever spent that money?
All right, before we go into this, shout out to Anais is in the room. Anais, the reason we're not bringing people in is because we don't bring people in on the first hour. We have our conversations in the first hour. We let people in the second hour. So shout out to the real Anais, my homie, my girl, my boo is out there. So if you want to get in this conversation, we do conversations in the second hour, not the first hour. So I just saw your comment and I just wanted to address it real quick. Now, as far as old boy go, I seen that. I think I sent you that. Is he wrong? I saw the video. Yo, listen. The purpose of being flued out, right?
Flown.
No, they call it flu.
Flued?
They call it flued out. He flew me
Okay.
out. So the purpose of being flued out is because you're going out there to take care of your business. You're going out there to kick it with somebody. You're going out there to do your thing. You met somebody, obviously it's a long distance relationship. You met them online, you met them on Instagram, whatever the case may be. So that's what that's about. Dude should have known that what was going to happen before that trip. There's no way that you're having a whole conversation, multiple conversations, where you're telling somebody, I'm going to put you on a jet, an airplane. I'm going to put you on an airplane and you're going to come out here and you haven't already established what this trip is about. You have not established what this trip is about. Dog, you're bugging. There's no way that you can.
Hold on. Hold. Who's bugging? The female or the male?
He's bugging. He's bugging first. He's bugging first.
Okay.
So they're just to cut to the chase. They're both bugging. Okay, they're both bugging because you as a man are supposed to have already been like, yo, if you're about to fly somebody out, man, y'all need to have exchanged some nudes and some more shit. There need to have been some FaceTime fucking in the whole 9 yards. So you can't tell me that you are having this girl come out here and she don't know why she coming out here. You about to take her and wine her and dine her and put her in a hotel room and then put her back on a flight back home where you might not ever see her again, don't know what she's doing in her real city, and you're not gonna reap the benefits, nigga, you are by proxy or by demand. That's what this sex game is. By proxy or by demand. So by proxy is, I'm flying you out, I'm whining and dining you, I'm taking care of you, we got a hotel room. That's by proxy. We fucking. By demand is, I meet you on the street and give you $500 and say, we fucking. So either way, we fucking. By proxy or by demand. He's supposed to know what's going on before he put that girl on the flight. Don't come out here and hit me with the, I'm on my period. Don't come, tell me, yo, I got cramps and I don't know if it's going to be a good 3 days. Let me cancel this flight. I got insurance, no harm, no foul. See you next weekend. Tell me when your cycle stops. Period. Now, for her, that's how women get hurt. That's how women get raped. That's how shit happens. You out here, you know what's going on. If it was an unspoken rule or unspoken word, you're about to get on a flight and go to a whole nother city to see this man where you're eating off the right side of the menu, drinking off the right side of the menu, going back to a hotel with this man that you really don't know. Let's be clear. So now you here and you're going to play games with this man? You're going to play games with this man. Don't do that, yo. Ain't no dinner, ain't no trip, ain't no wine, ain't nothing worth your well-being. Don't play with that man. Don't go out there and know what this trip is all about. What this trip, from the beginning, this nigga ain't flying you out there because he likes your pretty face, beloved. I'm telling you, you're not getting on this flight because he think you cute. He think you cute and he's trying to knock it down. So if you go out there, you play with this man under them circumstances, don't do it. Your health and your well-being is, don't get out there and start fucking around with somebody, playing these games with somebody and their money, playing these games. So now, I go back to my original comment. He wrong because as a man, I don't ever want to put myself in that position. I don't ever want to put myself in a position, and it's not because I'm Richie Dollaz, it's because I'm Richard Trowers, and I don't ever want to go to jail behind no bitch Deshaun Watson and me. I don't want that smoke. We are going to have an understanding of what's going on before we even make this encounter, if that's in fact what it is. Both sides are wrong, Sean. He wrong because if you out here, you talking about flying somebody out, getting names and socials and birth dates and all that shit, it's real easy to be like, yo, beloved, don't come out here playing with me. You know why I'm putting you on this flight. And then once you have an understanding, and for women, she's an idiot too. Because don't go out there playing with this man because in your heart of hearts, you know why you flying out there. You know why you flying. Unless this man told you, we good, I just want to see you, I want to spend time with you. Now, if he said that to you and he lied to you, then you're 100% right, beloved. You're 100% right to go out there and wild out. But if this man subliminally, underlying, any kind of subconsciously put you on this flight, you know what the fuck you're going out there for. We all adults. You know what, niggas don't fly you to Dubai to fucking look at the camels. You about to go out there and get shitted on, and whatever them niggas out there do is what's about to happen. Motherfuckers is out here flying you out, flew you out to a city. You know what it is, man. Don't play them games with these people, man. This world is getting crazier and crazier, and this is the word to the wise. Don't play with these people. Don't play with these people. If you ain't that type of chick, don't take that trip, period. Those trips are made and were born for women who are trying to see the world and have no vagina value. I'm going to see the world, and I'm going to fuck, and it's going to be free, and I'm going to have a good time seeing the world, and that's what it is. That's what it's all about. Instagram, social media is the new back page. You guys can act like it ain't. You could try to talk shit to me in the comments all you want to. If you fucking know what this shit is about, and it ain't celebrity based. It ain't no. It's real nigga shit.
Okay. You finished or you got more?
Nope, I'm done.
Okay. I see it a little different. I see only one part of it a little different. You know, Rich, had he had that woman on a video for some time, right? He had one part where they were still in the hotel room. He had another part where he's driving her. At no point did the woman say, you know, I just ain't attracted to you. At no point did the woman, you know, point out anything to do with something that happened once she arrived. Like once she arrived, like granted, if you never met a person before, they fly you in, or let's say you did meet them. Y'all on the phone exchanging whatever you're exchanging for months on end. Sometimes you can even forget what that person damn near looked like, or but you fly them out. Y'all got good conversation, this, that, and the third. You fly them out, right? Once they're in the vicinity, that woman is in her right. If something don't feel right, oh, this dude feel like a creep. He feel like the Boston Strangler. His breath stink. I remember him being taller, but the dude is 5'2". Any of that stuff, fair game. I don't want, and she could have had the conversation with him. From everything from what we saw as people who watched that live, watched that video, it was just her on some, I got you to fly me out here, and I don't have to give you my coochie. And now your feelings is hurt. Maybe something happened behind the scenes we don't know about, but I'm only going on what we saw.
Okay.
Hold on. With that being said, Rich, nigga, we grown. I don't care what nobody said. You want to talk all this independent, I'm a boss B, I make my own money, I don't need a man for ish, this, that, and that. Well, fly yourself out. Fly yourself out. But when you accept that a man is spending thousands of dollars on you, when you accept that plane ticket, you hop on the plane, like you said, you go to the most expensive restaurant and you talk about, I like lobster, and you're ordering from the right side of the menu, this, that, and the third. There is, whether we want to admit it or not, there is an unwritten contract that both of them signed. She knew what his expectation was when she accepted that trip, and he knew exactly why he was flying her out. There was an unwritten contract there. That is, you can't act like if you, Richard, fly somebody out tomorrow and y'all get to that point and you take her out to dinner and you put her up in the hotel and this, that, and the third, there's not an expectation there. Now, granted, they should have had the conversation. You should have. You should have made sure that what you expected was her intentions. But I would tell any woman out there is an unwritten contract. And if you are not willing, if you don't like him enough, if you don't see him that way, don't accept the trip. Don't. Because from a guy's point of view, you can shake your head no all you want. From a guy's point of view, that man thinking that he was going to be intimate with that woman, why wouldn't he? Why would he not?
Said, you know?
Yeah, okay, but the only part that I don't, me and you are saying the same thing. I said, I only just don't agree with one part, which was from his standpoint, Rich, I do think he should have had the conversation early. I do. But any woman who's ever been flown anywhere, any man who's ever flown a woman
I
somewhere.
want you to say it, Sean. I want you to say flued out. Say flued out.
No, I will not. I will
say
absolutely
flued out.
not. I'm not saying you. I will not say that. But there is an expectation and there's an unwritten contract. And I think that, you know, I could have respected or understood if that woman would have been like, look, I will pay you back your money, but you are not what I expected. You're just not. That's an adult conversation. This evening did not go as I expected. You know, I didn't know you smoke cigarettes, whatever it might be. I didn't know you drink as much. I am not comfortable. I'll be more than happy to pay you back. But that's not what this was, at least from what we saw. So I think that that woman was so out of line. And I think that she was really out of line, Rich, because you're acting like this man is coming from space with his expectations. I don't have to give up my coochie. You're right. It's yours. But give him an explanation or don't take the trip. She's the same person, I'm sure, that is talking about I'm a boss B. Well, be that. When he dropped you off at the airport and you talking about I don't have enough money to get my ticket on Spirit, the nigga didn't drop you off at Delta. He didn't drop you off at American Spirit. You should have that money. Like, but go ahead. You know, that's just my thought.
I 100% agree with you. I 100% agree with you. But in this day and age, the way this shit works, you going out there, you playing with that man, and you playing with that man's finances, and you playing with that man's trip. That shit ends badly. Now,
it does.
It does. It ended badly on some like I'm broke. I don't have no money to get home. She's gonna be sitting in the fucking airport trying to call somebody to borrow some money, trying to cash app her to get a goddamn flight or whatever. However, or somebody gonna have to get her a flight. That's what's about to happen. All I'm saying is that to protect yourself, because had she been the one taping, I don't know how that goes.
Yep.
I don't know how that goes. So
yep.
all I'm saying, and me and you are saying exactly the same thing. I don't think that dude is wrong one fucking iota. He ain't wrong at all. She's dead wrong for taking that flight, for communicating with that man. And if you get there and you don't, and I'm gonna take it a step further, Sean. If you get there and you don't like the nigga, there need to be some fucking going on. Or you need to pack your shit and leave.
Well, I don't agree with the first part, but I do agree you need to pack like Rich.
You ain't what I thought you was, homie. You shorter than you smoke cigarettes. I can't do. I ain't know. You ain't telling me
Correct.
that on the phone. I gotta go,
Correct.
bro. I'm going to get my own room across the hall. We can hang out tomorrow if you want to.
And here's the deal, Rich. You know, our parents, and again, somebody might be, oh, Sean, that's that old school advice. No, it ain't. It just is what it is. My mother always taught us, don't go nowhere that you ain't got no money to get back home. Don't ever go. And I'm sure anybody who's raising daughters have told their daughters the exact same advice. Don't go nowhere with a man that you ain't got money to get back on your own. So if he want to show his behind, give him deuces, but you can get back home.
Exactly.
She must not have been paying attention when her mother was talking.
And that's what we saying. But that's all we saying. We saying if you go out there and you don't like what's going on, number one, you took the trip. Don't play with people because you're putting yourself in an awkward position. It's just like when we used to say, don't act up with them promoters in different cities because you're not from there. You ain't got no gun. You rode the airplane, and everybody know you can't ride the airplane with a gun. So when you get off there, unless you got homies in that city, you better be on your best behavior, nigga, because you got your pants down. Same thing. You get on that airplane, you flying somewhere to meet somebody, you're basically going to their territory. Respect that. Respect that territory. Respect that person in that territory. What if that man got 5 girls waiting for you to beat the shit out of you when you leave that hotel room because you played about that money, you played about that sex, you played about that trip, you played about that food? He got his 5 homies, 5 blood sisters or whatever from down the block ready to knock your head off. You out there by yourself.
But you want to know something though, Rich? You want to know something? There was a way, and again, I want to get at least one more comment before we go. And I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to get at least one more topic in before we go to callers. You know, this can happen to any of us, bro. Like, meaning, he could have flew her out, and her breath stink. Her teeth could have been bad. You know, anything could have happened. You know, he see her. You don't look like I remember you looking. Who was that I was on live with or FaceTime with? Because it damn sure wasn't you. All of that could have happened. But there's a conversation. I think all of this goes away. Would he have been pissed? Absolutely. But if she would have had an intelligent conversation and said, yo, look, this just ain't what I thought it was. I apologize, and I will get you back your money. I think he could have handled that so much different.
I will get you back your money, like get me home, and I'm gonna get you back your money.
Yes, even if she never spoke, even if she hold up, Rich. Even if she disappeared, I'm just saying, treat the man with some dignity, and don't act like you don't know why he's upset or he don't have right to be upset. That's the only thing I'm saying. If she got back home, changed the number, he never heard from her again, that's one thing. But couldn't you or me or anybody else handle a conversation? Look, this just ain't what I thought it was. Like my apologies, I'll get you back your money. We here, but the chemistry just ain't right. Whatever. I think a person can handle that. Sitting there and telling a person, oh, you just embarrassed because you ain't getting no box. You antagonizing this person right now. And then if you get your behind beat, then if something happens to you, oh, he just flew off the handle because I didn't give him none. No, it was more than that. And I just think, you know, this could have been handled so much better to where his ego, his pride, all of that stuff could have been put at bay. And he could have understood as a mature gentleman, this just didn't work out.
Honestly, I think he did the video for me. I think he could have done that video to protect himself.
No. He did that video
on blast, but at
the
same time,
the man. What do you call them people at the airport? The sky caps. The people who the man was bitten to the sky cap. Talking about, yo, she didn't give up no box. Like, I don't think that's trying to protect yourself, Rich. That dude was furious. That dude was upset because he felt played and she didn't help him. You know, it's one thing. She just didn't help the situation. And I think that she could have helped the situation by just being honest.
You're right. You're right.
We don't even have the chemistry we had. All right, I gotta
my one last thing. My response to that is, you know what, beloved, you're right. We don't have the chemistry we had. Everything is love, no problem, no harm, no foul. How you getting home? I ain't paying for you to go home, beloved. How you getting home?
And that would have been fair enough. That would have been fair enough. It comes with the territory, right? But then you're the dick. She's not, because she tried to at least handle you with dignity. Like, I recognize that you spent this money, and I also recognize on FaceTime you look one way.
You're not finna come out here. You're not finna do it. I'm good. I'll be the asshole. It's cool. I'll be the asshole on this chat. I'll be the asshole in real life. Moniece has got a lot to say. Moniece, we'll see you in about 10 minutes.
Okay, so let's go to our next thing, Rich.
All right.
All right. Irv Gotti. Something else we talked about. Irv Gotti did Drink Champs, and I wanted to throw this in because some of this stuff just get too old for us to talk about next week. Yo, I just want you to, like he spoke about his sex life with Ashanti. Like him and Shanti ain't been, they was dating 20 years ago. At what point, I understand he's a public figure. I understand he dated a public figure. I understand that he is in an interview. But at what point is it just not cool to talk about your ex? At what point is it just in bad taste to talk about your ex? Y'all ain't been together in 10, 15 years, 20 years.
So, first and foremost, let's really understand the origins of what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Irv got a book coming out. That nigga trying to sell books. He trying to give people a peep into what's in that book. It's no more this. It is what it is. Was what he did corny as hell? Hell yeah. This is 2022. You talking about a girl ain't had a hit since 2005 when she broke your heart and you saw her with Nelly, and Nelly don't have 11 girlfriends since then? Like, come on, Irv. Like, this is, see, Sean, this is what I be telling you. I be telling you, people will come out of character for this 2022 shit. Even niggas our age who would lose all kinds of hood points, cards, cool point, whatever you want to call it. People like us, we don't do that. But in 2022, you trying to sell a book. You out here, you got to say what you got to say. You got to do what you got to do. You got to shit on Shanti, make her look nuts. Well, really make yourself look nuts, all for the betterment of selling a book. So now this is what people do. So I don't even know that Irv really even feels the way he feels. He probably does, but he put it in book, and he essentially is now on his book tour. So now he's doing cornball shit because that's what's going to sell his book. So he really, in the big scheme of things, he's selling his soul. He's selling his hood card. He's selling his I'm a pimp card for some book sales. That's essentially what's happening right now. So now he succeeded. This is what I used to tell you. He has succeeded. We talking about it. I seen Fat Joe with some comments about it. He was on Drink Champs promoting it. I seen Wack and him arguing with Cadillac Ty about that shit that he said. Ja Rule's in the news for not defending Shanti. Like, the whole shit is a whole social media shitstorm, and all this did was get him to where he needs to be in terms of his book. So, was it corny? Absolutely. Did I feel like Irv sold his soul? Talking about some, my dude, to me, this was on some superhead promo shit. You talking about old relationships with motherfuckers and shit, and your family and your kids, and how your wife found out, and when you found out that the girl was dating another nigga. Like, come on, Gotti. But people will do whatever they got to do to fucking succeed. And with the social media now and the accessibility to people, this is what you get. We used to call it publicity stunts when we was at Bad Boy. Nigga go out there and do something crazy so the news, page 6 will pick it up, and that's what. But now it's in real time. Everything's in real time. The Kardashians is fucking dudes for real time for this. Kanye's acting up for this. Kid Cudi's doing this for that. Irv Gotti ain't no different than everybody else out there who's doing the same thing and trying to sell a book. He's trying to sell a book. Did he whack himself out? Yeah. Is it corny that he put that girl under the bus 15 years later? Yeah. Did he tell her? I'm sure he didn't. But people right here, right now, was like, yo, that interview was crazy. I watched that shit 5 times.
Okay. You got more?
Nah, go ahead.
You know, Rich, and maybe this is where I'm old school. Maybe this is where I'm old. I don't know that this was for his book. I know he has a book coming out, but I don't know it was for his book, and I'm gonna tell you why. 3 weeks ago, Irv hit the wire because he just signed a $300 million deal, sold off his masters, his publishing, all of that stuff, and got this contract worth $300 million. So now he can shoot films, all of this stuff. Irv is paid. Irv don't need to sell a book. Irv don't need to sell nothing. That man, by all accounts, just hear me out. I listened to every word you said.
Go ahead.
That man, by all accounts, he did it. He won. You are the American dream. 300 million? You don't have to go. I'm sure Ashanti is not the only high-profile woman that this man has ever smashed. I am positive of that. Irv Gotti was the founding CEO of Murder Inc. You think that's the only high-profile box he ever got? I truly in my heart believe that this man, and before I even say what I'm going to say, the man was married when he was messing with Ashanti, which makes it even more like if you going on there and having a conversation about a woman you talked to 20 years ago ain't corny enough. Nigga, where's the respect? Where's the decency? Where's the class? You was married. And you talking about this woman like she was the love of your life. Leave her alone. And if this was a girl that I dated, or a woman you dated 20 years ago, and they go in public and he used to do this and that, nigga, that is like at some point, I don't care if you're trying to sell a book. I don't care if you're a public figure. It's okay to be like, you know what? We had our thing. I cared about her. She cared about me, this, that, and the third. I wish her the best. I think if what you're saying is right, he did it to create this media blitz, to sell books. It makes him, in my opinion, because I thought it was corny. I really, really did. I can't even believe a 50-year-old man would do that. So I thought it was corny. But now you are telling me, Sean, nah, he trying to sell a book. And you just
it wasn't corny, though. I didn't say it wasn't corny.
Okay, no. Hear me out, Rich. 3 weeks ago, you just went, you was in every major publication for signing a $300 million deal. You don't need to, we don't know if Ashanti is in a loving relationship. We don't know if Ashanti just started talking to somebody and they might be insecure about all the men she dated. Now this nigga is on a national interview talking about what you and her used to do. Like, to me, it's just like, leave that woman alone. You don't know who she's dating and you don't know where she's at in her life, that she got to wake up and now her social media, her phone is going bananas for something she ain't even got to do with. And God forbid if she's dating a regular dude that ain't even used to all this. And he might feel threatened by the fact that she is Ashanti, that she probably got more money than him, that she got more celebrity and more fame than him. But I love the woman Ashanti, and I'm gonna give this a try. And now I gotta hear about your ex and what you used to do with him, and you went for him and Nelly. Like, to me, what this man did, it was dead freaking wrong. It was corny, and it's just certain things you don't do. And I'll end it here. It's just certain things you don't do at 50 years old. This man is 5'0". And you don't do this. You don't.
I 100. Once again we agree. I 100.
We do. We do. I didn't say. I just don't know that it was for the book. That's it.
What I'm saying is, you said he made $300 million last year.
No,
I mean,
3 weeks ago he signed the deal.
3 weeks ago, he signed his rights away to his pub or all his pub and stuff. He
Yes.
got a big check for 300. Sean, we both watch rich people. The shit that makes you great is also the shit is your demise. We watch niggas with boatloads of money put out bad records and chase fame and chase music when they should have been sat their ass down. We watch niggas all the time. This nigga's ego apparently has been fucking with him forever because he could have omitted it from the book, 1. 2, he couldn't have did a whole promo tour about this girl. So obviously his ego is fucked up. He's probably still butthurt about that crap from back in the day, to where he feel like he got to bring it up. And it's like, oh, why are you bringing it up now? You had so much time that lapsed in between all this. He's bringing it up now because of his situation. He got a boatload of money. Now he's the only thing that he don't want to put out no duds. He got the next thing coming out on BET, that little Tales from the City or whatever he got. He got all his little situations are popping off. He's doing his promo. He's trying to be out here and be visible and be seen and be talked about and that's what people do today. I 100% agree with you. He dead wrong, corny as fuck for doing that to that girl. He ain't have no reason to do that to that girl. Ja Rule sat next to that nigga and let him do that to that girl. It looked like he was fucking uncomfortable as hell while he was doing it, but didn't say anything, and that's what Fat Joe said. But the reality is, he did it for the fucking clout, bro. And nobody can tell me differently. He butthurt and he
hold your thought for 1 second. For everybody, please, while Rich is finishing his thought, if you're trying to get in this conversation, please hit the request button below. It is the plus symbol. We have rules before you come on to the show. If this is your first time tuning in, you must be in a place with proper lighting. You must look directly into a camera. We do not talk to blank screens. You must be in a place with good wireless cellular signal. And you must have a question. Go ahead, Rich.
So, I mean, no, that's all I'm saying. I'm saying I 100% agree with you. I think he was dead wrong for bringing up that girl from a relationship from 17 years ago. But under the circumstances, you know what? We don't do that. We would never do that. But I watch people do it every day. And to say that he got $300 million wrong, showing you're wrong. To say that he got $300 million 3 weeks ago does not matter to that man because he's always had money. Now, he might have hit his down patch, but for the most part, Earth's had money. It's about ego. It's about everything that's going on. Like I told you, we watch people with hundreds of millions of dollars in their front pocket still do things, and we'd be like, yo, why is dude doing that? Nigga,
okay,
here's
the deal, Rich. Here's the deal. Again, we're spending way too much time on him. I like to take pop culture and equate it to regular people. But if this was a woman that you dated or that I dated that was going, I don't care if it's a podcast with 10 people on it. At some point, you're like, yo, this is old, is dead, is stinking. I'm in a new relationship. I have moved on. You need to do the same. So I understand everything you're saying. I agree with. But I just want for somebody who's watching this, even if you are scorned, if you were done wrong, move on. Move on. Like at some point, you have to understand that your life, it can't move on because you're stuck in the past. You're stuck with worrying about somebody who has gone on and they're living their life. They're not even thinking about you anymore. But you can't even live your life because you're stuck on that situation. And if this was any woman who called into this show, Rich, we would give her this advice. And this is advice I would give to Irv. Move on, bro. Like, what I don't care. Like I said, to me, it was disrespectful to Ashanti, but it was more disrespectful to his wife. It really, really was, because you were married at the time. But
All right.
with that being said, Ashanti, she's somewhere with her feet up. She's not thinking about you. But you can't move on to a stable relationship because you're stuck on that one. Leave that woman alone, and when you finally free yourself of it, you'll be so surprised. Oh, now I can actually get into a new situation and it can flourish because I'm not festering, and I'm not bringing this old baggage, and I'm not sitting here worried about the ghost of Christmas past. This person is long gone, man.
That's what you're missing the point.
What is the point?
On that. The point is that this is an R&B record situation. Let's take it to a record analogy. Niggas don't have a record in 15 years. As soon as you get an opportunity to do something, you want to go because people want to hear about your old records.
No, Rich, here's what you're missing. You're stuck on the celebrity aspect of this. Everybody watching this live right now ain't celebrities. Just bring it down to regular people.
But that's the only reason this even makes sense is because of
no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. Because there are people
ain't walking around here talking about 17-year-old relationships in real life.
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
You can't tell me niggas out here talking about 17-year-old relationships in real life.
Okay. So for any caller, every caller, when y'all call in, tell me if you don't know at least one of your friends who is stuck in a relationship from 10, 15, 20 years ago, and they cannot move on because they hold so much venom and so much aggression for somebody they dated that might have broke their heart, somebody who was the one for them, but obviously they wasn't the one, and they moved on and they're married and they're doing their thing. People get stuck, Rich, and you're wrong about that. And every caller who calls in, I don't care what your question is, just answer this first. Do you know any of your friends that are stuck on a relationship years after it ended? I guarantee everybody's going to say yes.
So you telling me that niggas is sitting out here on Instagram talking about 17-year-old relationships today?
I don't know if they're on Instagram. I know people who right now, I don't want to blow nobody up, but I personally know people who are stuck on relationships, and that person is married now. They're gone. But the other person is still stewing. They're still literally stewing in their feelings, and this other person's going on not even thinking about it. That happens every day, Rich.
Well, that's some sad motherfucking shit then, bro.
Yeah, that ain't just celebrity crap. Trying to sell a book. That happens every day.
What I'm saying is that the people cared about what Irv was saying is because that was the time period in which the shit was popping for him. So if you're going to recollect, Puff ain't finna talk about love records.
I don't, Rich, you just can't get your head out of the celebrity crap. I don't care about that.
That's the only way for me. That's the only way this makes sense is because people are giving it attention and it's moving and it's out there and people are talking about it. But a nigga who's talking to a person about a relationship, that shit is a fucking tree in the forest.
What?
If a tree falls in the forest, do it make noise? So a nigga could go out here and talk his ass off about a girl that he dated 30 years ago, but it doesn't make its way back to that girl. It doesn't circulate.
You're so off tonight. Does it matter if the world hears it? The point is, there are people still stuck in relationships in the past. End of story. It doesn't matter if the world can comment on it like they're commenting on this Irv thing. That's not the point. The point is very simple. There are people stuck because they didn't do the work on themselves, and they carrying all of this extra baggage, and they're not over past relationships, and they're still talking about it, and they get into relationships, and they're talking about their ex, and they're They're in a current situation, still talking about somebody they dated 10 years ago. That is the point. That happens. Whether the world knows about it is something, that's the point you got to get over. I'm not talking about that. I could care less. But let's let people in, Rich. We can disagree all night. We can disagree offline.
Well, if y'all want to come in now. Let's go. All right, here we go. Moniece, what's up? Let's get Moniece in here, because I know she got something to say.
Kim, turn that down for mommy.
Yo, don't call me with, don't come in the live talking to your trainer and all these other people. We're going to have this conversation.
Who? About who?
We're talking to your trainer, looking to the left and all that.
Talking to my trainer. I'm talking to my child. I asked him to turn it down.
Oh, all right.
Hi,
Mo.
Sean.
What up, Mo?
Hey, Richie.
What's up, Mo?
So look.
Go ahead.
So first, I'm a comment on the current topic, and then I'm a backtrack because Sean, I already DM'd Richie D when he posted the thing about the girl, and the guy taking her back and all that. I got conflicted feelings about that, but to land this plane, okay. Rich, you know what I went through in the last relationship. We're not gonna say no names.
Okay.
As recently as yesterday, it's gotten back to me that old boy is trying to make amends yet again. His feelings didn't just die. He wishes he could talk to me. He wishes he could talk to me. What was the other thing he said? It got out of hand and he just doesn't know how to fix it and he feels bad. Oh, girl, check this out. Over my dead body. Why? Because when that relationship came to be, I was already doing my own self-work and had been single for 1 year and 7 months after the relationship with the girl. So I was in a healthy place, and that relationship, I allowed it. Now, this is the thing. You just cussed? This is the thing. No one can make me do anything. People ask me about Rich constantly in interviews. Constantly. I don't pull the earth. Did I feel some type of way in the beginning? And was I Irving Rich in the beginning? Yes. I was stuck on what I felt didn't happen, the closure I felt didn't get, the ways I felt I was played, and the way I didn't feel that Rich didn't take accountability. Now, with age and wisdom and some time, not speaking, he was blocked. I had him blocked everywhere out of respect for the relationship that I was in at that time. After that, after self-work, after going through another failed relationship, after growing, after now being a veteran on the other franchise, I looked back and went, you know what? Maybe Rich went about certain things the wrong way. I was young. I was new to TV. He was a vet. He was trying to show me this and that. Point is, the only reason I mention that is to say that once I assessed everything as a whole, then I looked back and went, okay, well, maybe I could have done this differently. I didn't go to the internet, though, like to your credit, Sean, what you're saying. I didn't go to the internet. Rich and I have like a 3-hour conversation, and I'm long-winded naturally. So, you know, we had a conversation, and then we were able to move forward and follow each other, and he came and did me a solid on my show. But there was growth on both sides, and then there was a change for me in my own personal journey where then I go, okay, I could see what he was trying to do. I could see what he was trying to teach me. But even now in interviews, I'm not, if someone were to ask Rich, I could bet my last dollar, and I'm not a 300 millionaire. I could bet my last dollar Rich wouldn't dog me out. Is he gonna lie? No. About how maybe my actions and me going to the blogs in the past made him feel? No. But is he gonna Irv Gotti me? Absolutely not. And so I think, and the reason I mentioned the last relationship I was in is because you're trying to get Rich to see the normal. Is that me? Sean is circling.
That's Sean.
Okay. Well, you were trying to get me to see Sean was trying to get you to see the normal people perspective. And from all means, my most recent ex, is what society would say is a normal person. He's still stuck. on what he didn't do.
But Mo, the deal is this. First, y'all, the dude that we talking about, relationship is only 2 or 3 years old, maybe less than that, a year
It's
and a
less
half,
than
right?
that. It's coming up on a year.
And what he did, what the dude that you talking about did was he went off and started doing a bunch of clown shit, and now he's understanding that clown shit didn't work. So now
While in a relationship with the woman he cheated on me with, though.
He what?
He's in a whole relationship with one of the bitches he cheated on me with.
But there's value in your friendship. That's what y'all see. That's
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
There's value in your friendship. So if I went out to do a bunch of shit that I thought I was gonna be able to take my train and go off on my own, but now after further review, I come to realize that I still need to be around Moniece. So now, even though I'm still with this other girl, I still want to come and let bygones be bygones. I'm sorry how shit spiraled. My bad. Here's the deal. Here's all I'm saying about the herb thing. If Moniece was writing a book,
which I am, you know this. I signed the book deal.
We're talking about not this specific. Well, we could be the specific book, and people want to know what happened in 2015 with Rich. And if you're a ghostwriter or your publisher or your publishing house or whoever was like, Moniece, you need to put that in your book. That was a big part of your life on Hip Hop Hollywood. You and Rich was the fucking A story out there, and the shit went haywire, and you went to the fucking blogs and said the nigga don't really love you and all that other shit that you were saying. We want to talk about that. You would have to talk about that.
And we did.
Okay. So now all I'm saying is, when the promo tour comes, that's going to be conversation. Now, would it be dead wrong for you to do that to me again after we all made amends? It would be dead corny of you.
Yes, absolutely. And I wouldn't do that. And I, not only would I not do that, the way that I spoke about that period of time in my life, I did briefly speak about he doesn't love me, he's using me for a check. But my book is also about all the things I never say. So I never went out publicly and said what I just said. I look in retrospect, I see things differently. And that was what Rich was actually doing. I can appreciate now, which I've done that privately though. I called you and privately said, I see what you were trying to do. I get it, Rich, blah, blah, blah. And so, yes, to do that post us making amends would be dead wrong. But I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that out of respect. And I'm not in a relationship. And from what I know, you're not in a relationship, but even if you were, whether you are or not, I still wouldn't do that out of respect for the fact that we've made amends. So I can't understand even to sell a book. And if that's in the book, nigga, you still got to sell books. You just told us everything. You just told us everything. So is it really to sell the book?
Listen, I'm agreeing with y'all. And I think the shit that was said was corny. I'm just saying that in this world, in this life, in the way we live in 2022, niggas do corny ass shit because they sell their souls to the corn dog man because they're trying to make a buck. That's just my reality.
I mean, I feel you, and I feel
regular people too. It could be regular people too.
That's what I was gonna say. We know some regular people.
It's a celebrity thing. It's not a celebrity thing. Niggas do corny shit because they feel like it's gonna benefit them. Because in the bigger scheme of things, social media has made everybody in their own right a celebrity to some degree.
And we know regular people that talk about me for free every single day. Every day and don't get a penny.
Because it gives them the conversation.
Sometimes because the cachet is me. The cachet is me. So the cachet isn't Earth. The cachet is Ashanti.
I didn't say it wasn't.
No, I know you're not. I'm just saying that's in our minds as public figures, we get what the angle is. Normal people, though, do the same shit like Sean was saying. We just don't know who they are. So it doesn't come across our desk, as you always say. But normal niggas are doing it. For sure. 100%. Even regular people are doing it. We just don't know.
Agreed. Now, what's the next one?
You were talking about you already know how I feel about the nigga dropping the girl off at the airport because of whatever. Here's how I feel. If you're a woman and you cannot afford to book your own flight, incoming and, outbound and returning, if you can't put yourself up, if you can't afford to feed yourself, if you can't afford to do all three, you have no business letting a nigga fly you any damn where. And if you're going to let him send me the money, I'll book my flight on my own card there, and then it can't be canceled. The second part of that is, what is this entitlement with because I flew you out and you knew what it was? The cat belongs to me. No, it doesn't. It belongs to me. If you didn't want to get to know me, just like y'all are saying a female should make it clear before she get on the plane or let a nigga spend his money, a man should make it clear before he breaks bread. In my opinion. And I'm never letting nobody fly me out anywhere and I can't get my own rental, pay for my, if I did let him book the flight on his card and he does have the ability to cancel it, I better be able to book my own flight home. I better be able to, if he decided, I'll be right back, because niggas ain't shit. And the nigga went to the bathroom and I got to go to the bathroom and never came back to pay the bill and left you with the bill. If I can't pay the bill, I had no business being out of town.
Can I ask you something? Okay. I respect your opinion, but we got to dive into this. You're from LA?
Yeah, born and raised.
Richie is New York. Did Rich ever fly you out?
No.
He is. Excuse me?
No.
How did y'all get to see each other?
See, we back on our celebrity shit again.
Hold on, no. I don't speak from. I'm no celebrity.
No,
I just
so
really.
Hold
Hold up.
The first time Rich and I ever,
just don't try to guess where I'm going with this. Just bear with me.
I'm about to answer the question. I'm about to tell you how we saw each other. The first time Rich and I saw each other, I had a hosting in Boston. And as you know, on my rider was 2 flights, 2 rooms. Mm-hmm. Rich and I had been talking. So I said, Rich is going to be my second passenger. You could ditch the second room. He could stay in my room. Then as we kept talking, season 2 of Hollywood came up. We had already gone public with the relationship. I had gotten a tattoo behind the ear. I posted that. And then Rich was on season 2. They were flying him out every other week. 1 week here, 1 week in New York. So every week that my son was with his dad, Rich was here and we were filming. And then after that, and I think before that, Rich, they flew me out for Yandy's wedding, which was in New York.
Can we stop for 1 second?
We never saw each other again.
Okay. So the first time,
some type of way if you can't tell.
The first time y'all shared a bed or a hotel, and I don't want to talk. I know your kids in the background. So the first time y'all shared a night, let's go right there, was in Boston.
First time we spent time, it was Boston.
Okay, so my question: you were in Boston already. You had the room. Richie came and met you in Boston. There was 1 room with 1 bed. Rich, did you expect to be intimate with Moniece that night? And it's just you don't have to say if y'all did anything. I'm just saying, did you expect to be? Was there this expectation on your part that I'm going into Boston, 4 hours from New York, my girl from LA is there, she got 1 room for me. I already know what it is. When you got
Rich, is that how you felt?
Go ahead, Rich.
I asked this question.
Yeah.
And
you did it?
So, but
hold on.
There's a caveat to that.
Go ahead.
The caveat is that we were having conversations previous to this trip. That's why I'm saying, if this man.
Well, okay, I see what you're saying.
Hold on, Rich. That wasn't for you. It was for Moniece. What I was doing, because Moniece, I was agreeing with you up until you was like, yo, it's her cat, which it is. But my point is, there is an expectation regardless. There is an unwritten contract that you signed when you took that man's flight. Now, if you chose not to give it up, that's on you. But
I don't know, Sean. Oh, my cousin, come here, Christy. My cousin is married.
come on, Chrissy.
Yo, come here. They want you, Chris. Come on, Christy. And she's
Come
also
on,
a counselor. Come on, Christy. Christy's married. Christy was. Can I tell you something? She and her now husband is my first cousin. We grew up like sisters. Rich, I talk to you about her all the time. She's also a counselor. Christy and her husband took a vow of celibacy prior to marriage, but Christy had to use MapQuest to go see Brandon, her now husband, the first time they linked. So at the end of the day, they took a vow of celibacy, but he could have changed his mind.
I got flued out all the time.
She got, there you go.
But that's a that.
But that's
But no, watch,
ahead,
I'm
Brittany.
agreeing with y'all. What I'm saying is, the conversations that you're talking about, they took a vow of celibacy. So their conversations were different than a conversation Rich and I have, or you, Sean, that you have with said woman that you intend to fly out. She was being flew out all the time, but there was an understanding that we're going to be married.
Okay.
See, these men and women, these women being flown out, from what I can tell, that's not the topic of conversation. When Rich and I were talking, I said I expressed my desire to be married. I expressed the relationships in my family and how I was raised, and my cousins being married by our grandfather, may he rest in peace. So, but Rich understood that that's ultimately what I wanted, but I still wouldn't expect Rich to fly me out and expect, just because we've had conversations, that I owe that to him.
I don't ever owe you my vagina. I don't ever owe you my vagina. Ever.
I think
Celibacy or not.
Child celibacy or not, I don't ever owe you my vagina.
we're all talking. I think we're all talking the same thing. But go ahead, Rich. You're the only one who haven't been talking. Go ahead.
All I'm saying from the beginning, I said communication. How old are you? How old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
36.
Okay, you're 36. Momo, you 35, right?
Yep.
All right. Me and Sean are older than y'all. So we all understand. We all are from a place of maturity. What I'm saying is, flued out today is a form of prostitution. Flued out today is a dude who's flying you out because y'all met on social media, y'all kicked it, and he flying you to his town to wine you, dine you, and you about to get busy. You are taking that trip because you want to be wined and dined, and at the end of the day, by proxy or by the man, that is the payment. You flew me out, you fed me lobsters and fucking steak, we went to the movies, we went to the basketball game, whatever the case may be. And now the proxy is that you did all that with your check, with your credit card, with your cash. And now at the end of the night, we are about to have sex when we go back and lock up in this Hilton or this goddamn Intercontinental or the Park Regency, whatever the case may be. That's what it is today. Come on, guys. Let's stop acting like that.
I'm
We had a
saying
conversation.
Can I say one?
Yeah, we know what the expectation is. We're saying, though, expectation versus entitlement. Just because you expect it, that's my form of payment.
Entitlement is thinking that you're coming out here, eating my food, watching my movie, going to my basketball games, getting on my flight, getting drunk in first class off my credit card, and then get here and lay up in this bed next to me, butt naked with your ass against me, talking about, nah, I'm good.
Why am I butt naked, though?
That's usually how people sleep. Or it's okay, fuck it, basketball shorts, whatever the case may be. That is where we
If I am
have.
butt naked with my butt pressed up against you, then yes. I expect that too. I expect for it to go down. Okay? Because I'm not going to just
So
be
how
there.
we sleeping? So what we doing? Putting pillows in the middle of us? What we doing? We Barney
Now,
Rubble?
Richard, you know I love me a onesie. I may have come about that at the end of the day.
You love you a onesie. The reality is, once when me and you were talking, like, we're a bad example because we're mature adults and we had mad conversation.
Can I say one thing?
Go ahead, Sean.
Guys, can I say one thing? and this goes to Miss Christie too. And I think
We fight. Just want to be careful because we fight niggas. What's up?
No. We all saying the same thing. Real talk. Everybody is in here saying we had conversation. Christy had an understanding with her now husband.
Brandon, right?
If there is a conversation, it's fair. It really is. That's the operative word here.
Yeah.
I think where homeboy went wrong is the same thing Rich and I talk about in any relationship situation. Have the hard conversations up front.
Yeah, but that's what I said in the beginning. I said
we agree. No, that's why I said we agree. But if you didn't have the conversation, I'm gonna stand by what I said. And Rich, I love what you just said there, by the way. She talked entitlement, and you was like, yo, you absolutely right. Her taking that man's credit card, flying in, that is just as much entitlement mode. It is. But y'all can take it from here.
I feel like, too, it depends on the environment. Like when we had that conversation about my dad, and Rich was like, I know Mo's dad. That nigga's a gem. That's her dad. My uncle, that's our other uncle, that's our other uncle, and that's our aunt. That our fathers, our brother, her brother, my cousin. Like this is the men in our family, and the women in we're different. So I don't mind having that conversation. Rich used to say, "Yo, relax." And Rich, where's the ring? Where's the ring? I was very clear on what I wanted from you. So now I feel gypped. So yeah, I'm mad. She has the conversation with Brandon. Brandon said they're on the same page. Brandon showed her that. The female getting flued out ain't having a conversation with the man flying her out. Like you said, Sean, it's an unspoken contract. No, it's not. If you don't make it clear that that's what you expect from me, then I'm going to push the limit and withhold because I really don't want that. I wanted the free trip. I wanted the free basketball game, like Rich said. If I'm a prostitute, this is how we putting it. I want to be a high class escort where I just got to come around and spend the time and make you look good and make other women want you. So I'm going to withhold because you didn't make it clear that this is what you're expecting. So I didn't say nothing. You didn't bring it up. I didn't bring it up. So at the end of the day, yes, my cat, and I don't owe that to you. Yes, that's what you said you wanted when I got on the plane and got drunk in first class before you took me to get steaks and lobsters and you had me courtside at the game, baby. You didn't say nothing about once we got back to the Park Regency, it's on and cracking. You didn't tell me that was part of the deal. So now I'm feeling like, hold up, bruh. Thong, G-string, butt naked, whatever it is. You didn't have this talk with me. So Rich talking about this how people sleep. She could easily say, this how I sleep at home when nobody's there. This how I sleep with my husband. He don't press the issue.
Listen, we gonna agree to disagree, but what I really want to know, and this is for everybody who's watching right now, is fluid a word? Like I'm so confused right now. Is FLEWD a real word? That's all I want to know.
It's not a real word.
Oh, it's not?
Now it is because of who said it originally.
Oh, my auntie said it's in the Urban Dictionary.
It really is?
She's a teacher. She would know.
Because Rich been on me all night about some fluid. I'm like, what are we talking here?
Who made up this? Cardi B?
Who said first name? Cardi?
No, I think it was Young Miami.
But yeah, it was one of the city girls.
City girl. Yeah, it was a city girl. It was a little girl pop up with.
Young Miami.
She said flued out. She was like, yo, we getting flued out. Who getting flued out? Everybody started using that shit.
Okay.
But anyway,
we're going to dinner to celebrate my late cousin. I hope everybody has a great night. Richie D, I love you. Sean, love you. But I'm gonna keep watching while we on the way. But getting fluid out ain't. That's not the credit card. Ain't the cat, baby. Y'all got it wrong. Okay.
Momo,
all right.
I love you,
what did you say, Christy? What you say, Christy?
My cat worth more than being fluid.
Yeah. So I think we all saying the same thing about old boy.
We are.
It's just that the communication got to be there, man, because you can fuck around like Deshaun Watson went up in them damn things thinking that he's about to get some happy endings. You know what I'm saying? And them girls wasn't with it. So you got to protect yourself, man. That's all I'm saying. All right, who else we got?
Next caller.
Kathleen Ivory. Kathleen Ivory.
And shout to Mo. Shout to Mo. Always entertaining. Shout to Christy. Definitely a nice perspective. I enjoyed that conversation just now.
Kathleen Ivory. Did she come in? No. All right. Osanya Martin. Osanya Martin, are you in the room? Okay. Siobhan James. Getting Your Life. Siobhan James, is she in the room? I don't know, maybe. I don't know what's going on right now.
Hey, how's it going, fellas? How
What's
y'all
up,
feeling?
Siobhan James? How are you?
I'm pretty good. I be listening to y'all conversations. I'm not always able to get in every Wednesday, but this particular conversation, I'm gonna be honest. We're not talking about the herb. We're just talking about getting flued out. Is that where we at with it?
Either or. Either or.
I'll say this with the herb thing. I'll keep it short and simple. I felt like whatever he shared on Drink Champs, I felt like it was more important for him. It was something that was for him to get out. I don't think it really had nothing to do with, you know, Ja, Ashanti, or the Ink or BET. I think 20 years later, I'm 39. I was in like junior high school when these guys were doing their thing. I think 20 years later, no disrespect to him as what he did for the young lady's career, but as a grown man, and as somebody that has created so many careers successfully, I think it just was a bad look, and that wasn't what you should do as an OG. I'm 39. Irv, you an OG. That wasn't classy. That was very it was tacky. I felt it would have been better to maybe tell your side on a documentary, not go on Drink Champs and display that the way he did, only because, one, you were still legally married at the time, Irv. Let's just be real. We can't get mad at the young lady if we were still legally married because you now see her with Nelly. That's the first thing I was confused on. I was like, well, bro, you were still legally married. So how are we going to get mad because she decides to go off with Nelly? So I was confused with that. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You watched the show before, right?
Your show, yes.
You watched this show?
Yes.
Okay. So whereas I love your perspective, this is for questions. This is for
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. So I think my question would be, and this is to you guys are OGs. Do you feel like it was appropriate for him to share his experience on Drink Champs as it pertains to Ashanti personally? Professionally, I was ready for that story because I wanted to hear the story from him. But personally, did you guys think that was appropriate for him to share his side of things in terms of his dealings? Then I want to jump into, I got a question for the fluid out, but okay.
So I'll be real quick. The business aspect of it was actually precipitated by Ashanti. She was the one that's saying she wasn't getting the money, that she did what she did and all of that. So for him, if he felt like he needed to go on and defend himself about publishing and how much money she got or what she didn't get, then he had every right to do that, to clear the air. But to go on there and talk about a 17-year-old relationship, I can't condone that. And I mean, 22-year-old relationship, I can't condone that. I'm not even going to try. Me and Sean already gave our
y'all thoughts on that.
How corny that was.
Okay, we can move on. Corny. My question for the fluid out situation, I'll make a statement to y'all before I ask the question. I totally agree, and a lot of women are going to be upset. I respect women. I now deal with women. I am gay, but I used to deal with men, so I see both sides. It is an unwritten rule. If you allow a man, and let's just throw stud in there. If you allow anybody to fly you out and it is personal conversations had and it's a clear attraction and you allow them to fly you out on the flight, ladies, let's not be silly. A man is expecting to have sex. Bottom line, he's paid for your flight. He's buying your food. He's paid for your hotel. Let's be adults and stop acting goofy. That's the expectation. Now, my question to you guys, the OGs, if a young man chooses to fly out a woman, do you feel as though it is his responsibility to make it very clear his expectation, or the woman should already know what it is if they agree and she accepts that flight and that trip and everything else that comes along with it?
Sean?
I think that is a great question. And I think it's one of those questions because we talked about it being an unwritten contract that has been signed when you take that trip.
Right.
But obviously there are opposing views on this. So it shouldn't be unwritten and it shouldn't be unspoken anymore. And I'm happy to ask that question because at the end of the day, it comes down to what Richie and I speak about every week. Ask the questions, have the conversations up front. And it's as simple as that. And I don't care what you're talking about. You could be talking about marriage. You can be talking about kids. You can be talking about threesomes. You could be have the conversations up front. It's just that simple. So to me, to answer your question very simply, it goes both ways. A man should ask the question, and a man should make his expectation known, and a woman should ask the question of, what are you expecting if I take this trip? It should be put out there front. Absolutely.
Can I share something with you guys before I hop off? And I don't know, everybody doesn't agree with the lifestyle with lesbian and girl on girls, but I'm gonna share this, and I'm quite sure it can go across the board. I'm gonna tell you something I experienced. I was dating a young lady from Los Angeles. We decided to take a trip to celebrate New Year's in New York. Now, oh geez, I was intimate and having regular sex with this woman in Los Angeles. We didn't meet on Instagram or nothing like that. She decides, oh, I want to go out to New York with you and celebrate New Year's Eve. I don't have to discuss us having sex when I get to New York. We're already doing that. Get the trip, book the, I didn't expect for her to pay nothing. We already messed around. Let's go celebrate, bring in the New Year in New York, no problem. Buy the tickets, get the Airbnb. You ain't got to pay for food, nothing. I got you. We get there. Day number one, she asked to go see her ex-boyfriend in Brooklyn. Now, part of me feels as though that was crazy and disrespectful because I'm like, you flew out here with me, but yet you want me to send you a car so you could go visit your ex-boyfriend. Then she was acting funny when I initiated sex. I'm going to say this. Oh, geez, the first night, I kind of let some stuff slide. Then the second night, it was just becoming too much when she finally said she wanted to go over there. And I said, I live in Los Angeles, but I'm from Michigan, Detroit area, Pontiac. I'm like, nah, this ain't it. I can't allow myself to continue to get played on this trip. So I decided to cut the trip short. She doesn't know. My friend works for the airlines at the time. I told my friend the situation. I said, listen, I'm a little uncomfortable. This is how this young lady is moving. Are you able to cut my trip short? Because I'm not feeling this. I want to go back to LA. My friend changed my flight. I go back to LA. Old girl was still expecting me. She was calling, are you going to send me money and send me food? Now, mind you, she's no longer in my Airbnb. She now leaves to go over with the ex to stay with him, y'all, and still was calling me for money and food. This is what I'm saying. This is goofy. I don't care if you're a heterosexual or a gay girl or confused bisexual woman. You women are crazy. That's inappropriate, it's disrespectful. If you travel somewhere, you do not move like that. Long story short, I left Shorty in New York. People can say it's foul if they want to. Yes, did I expect to have sex? Yes, because
I don't think nobody would say that's foul. I would say
crazy.
I would say that everybody in this chat right now probably is like, you are probably the most understanding motherfucker.
I left for New York, canceled her flight back, and I kept it moving. Because to me, you already made your decision to go spend time with your ex. Now, I didn't spaz on her and put my hands on her and choke her out like I wanted to, because that ain't the way.
And you a good one for that.
But I had to just use my mind and said, you know what, this ain't it. I feel disrespected, but excuse my language, I'm leaving this bitch right in Brooklyn. I'm out.
Yo, that's crazy.
I'm out.
That's crazy. Yo,
listen, you've been on here forever and we gotta let you go, but
I know.
No, hold on. I got a question for you.
Yes.
If she wasn't going to see her ex, if she didn't tell you where she was going, would you have had the same reaction?
You mean prior to getting there, or just actually being in Brooklyn?
Being there. If she disappeared, she wasn't sleeping with you. Y'all came there together.
We were never intimate as the space you coming from.
No, even if you were intimate.
Okay,
and she was acting the exact same way, but you did, because I know part of this, you're saying she went to see her ex. But if she didn't go to see her ex that you know of, and you felt like, yo, you got me to pay for you to come to New York, this, that, and the third, and ain't nothing happening, how would you have felt then?
Sean, I'm gonna be honest. You're not doing nothing on my dime. Again, you're not obligated to have sex with me. Just like, we women, I can respect it. I get it. But you're not doing nothing on my dime. Now, if you want to go visit an ex or your auntie or something like that, that's cool. You're not gonna do it on my dime, and I'm gonna leave you
okay,
alone.
that's all we wanted to know. You just answered. I think you answered what I was thinking and what Rich is thinking.
Yeah,
you did.
But you guys, I love the platform. Keep doing what you're doing and raising these questions and conversations. And ladies, stop being goofy. Don't fly out if you ain't got your own bag. Have a good night, y'all.
All right, mama.
All right, bye-bye.
Real quick, while we were having that conversation, this entered my mind. Flying across the country with somebody, I'm going to show you how the level of petty in which I am. If you meet me at the club, you better have already told me at the end of the night that I'm bringing you home. Or else my mind is thinking, you're coming home with me. And it's a problem at the end of the night if you then tell me, nah, I got to go home. So this is what I was telling you about the communication. That's how petty I am, Sean. Fuck a flight across the country. Fuck all that. If you need a ride home at the end of the night, it's a problem for me if I didn't already agree to that. Because I'm thinking you're going home with me. If I meet you out and we party until 3 o'clock in the morning and you with me in my car and we moving and you ain't specified that you got to go to work in the morning, you got to do something in the morning, my mind is already thinking that you're coming home with me. I could be dead wrong, but I'm going to show you that's just who I am.
Well, what you're showing is how important, first and foremost, you're about to get lit up in the comments. So let's start there.
Sure. I don't care.
But what you're showing is how important communication is from the gate. And I think that we have this, and I don't know if I'm speaking another language, but I always say the same thing. Have the conversations up front. It will save you so much misunderstanding and stress and aggravation. Just have the conversations up front. And also, one last thing, I think people got confused when I was like, yo, call in. Me and you were talking about people, the whole Irv Gotti situation. I'm not interested in Irv Gotti and Ashanti. I was only asking if you know somebody who is stuck in a relationship that has been over for years. Simple as that. But go ahead, let's let people in before it gets too late, Rich.
I'm trying. We got 47 people in the chat that are trying to get in here. And I don't know why it's Chanel envy us. How are you, Chanel?
Good evening, gentlemen. Hi.
What's up, man?
So of course, Sean, you're always on point.
Thank
Rich is always all in left field. We have a problem with the entitlement. Communication, it settles it all. But
You just said that I was in left field. All right.
you
So
out there.
I gotta hear what you gotta
Yep.
say because you're about to get lit the fuck up. Go ahead.
All I'm saying, communication. If we talk about it, I don't understand why people have such an easy time talking to strangers. There's men that they will seek out these women that perform these services and they'll tell them everything that they want from them. But they won't talk to someone they're seeking to be in a relationship with or have a marriage with. So you don't even know this real person. Like you're only getting this representative, but you're so comfortable with strangers giving them your deepest and darkest fantasies. Like it's somewhere with a disconnection between men and women and how we can understand and communicate with each other. A lot of times I feel, especially when you talk, Rich, it seems as though you feel like women are like second-class citizens. Like, well, if you ain't telling me you going, you better tell me I'm coming home with you at night because I'm expecting you to come home with me at night. No, sir. Like, where do you feel that you are entitled to my body? Like, this is an understanding that we both.
Let me ask you this. So here we go. Let's go. I'm ready for this question. I don't feel like I'm entitled to nothing.
You just said it.
I don't feel like I'm entitled to anything except what I bring to the table. Why are you entitled to my money, my drinks, my gas, my car, and everything else? That's the entitlement. So don't act like entitlement is a one-way street. Ain't nobody.
I get it, but
in order for you to know, you said I sound crazy. So let me help you understand where I'm coming from.
Okay.
It's very, very easy for a woman to sit there and say because she's a woman, she's allowed to be entitled because a man is a provider. From a communicational standpoint, it is very important that everybody is on the same page. No woman is entitled to anything unless it belongs to you. So just like you just want to come in here and women want to say what their vagina means to them and they own that, well, my pocket I own that. And I own my car. And I own my house. And I own my credit card. And I own the drinks that I just bought. So there is no entitlement. So don't come at me and look at me in my face and act like you're entitled to food and drinks and everything else. And then you get to go home at the end of the night and look at me in my face like there's no barter system.
Okay, so Rich, do you not?
Unless we have that understanding. I've been on dates and not had sex at the end of the night. I've been on dates. I don't mind going on a date where a girl is like, yo, my dog. I'll let you know how understanding I am as a dog lover. If you tell me, man, I got to go walk my dog at 6 o'clock in the morning, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to understand. And it doesn't mean that I'm not going to take you out. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to have a good time. But you know what? I have an understanding of what has to happen tonight. You have to be home because your dog needs to get out the house and go for a walk and go to the bathroom. So you know what? As a real nigga, as a real man, I'm going to make sure you get that. I'm going to make sure you're home at 6 o'clock. If you have to be home at 4 or you got a flight, whatever the case may be, I'm going to make sure you get that. All I'm saying is communication. Because what me and Sean been saying all night, while you would say that I'm left field, but you agree with Sean, and me and Sean essentially have agreed with each other all night long, is that You're not entitled to anything that I own. I'm not entitled to anything that you own. That includes your body, but there needs to be an understanding because there is an unwritten rule in life. Now you can act like that unwritten rule doesn't exist and I'm in left field with the corn if you want to, but there is an unwritten rule in life.
So, Rich, before I got cut off, could I finish my point?
Go ahead.
Okay. So we understand that we have a type of person that we seem to normally attract. And it seems as though more than likely you're attracting this type of person. So as for me, I've never been to a bar and somebody's bought me a drink. I'm not the type of woman that I take men out to dinner. Every man that I've had can tell you that I've taken them, they had nothing in them. I put them higher. So every woman is not the woman that you speak of. Every woman is not. I have my own car. I have my own house. I don't need no man to take care of me or to provide for me. So you have to understand.
You're misunderstanding. You're misunderstanding.
Am I talking?
I gotta stop you.
Hold. Rich, hold your thought for 1 second.
Go ahead, because your thought is not. Go ahead.
Go ahead. What's my thought not? Because you know how I think. Because we
hold
always
on.
tell women what we think,
What I'm
right?
saying is that, of course, I've got.
Chantel, finish your thought. Finish. He's allowing you to finish your thought. Go ahead.
You want me? Can I continue?
Yes.
So yes, Rich, I understand. Like I have nigga tendencies, so I can understand both sides. I'm a devil's advocate, so I can understand. Yes, a woman knows men are sexual creatures. They have a sexual desire. They have a sexual drive. So in a woman's mind, she knows what he wants. She knows. But the problem is, as we said, it's the expectation. Just because I could be in a relationship, does that mean because I'm in a relationship, I got to have sex with you tonight? Is my body not my body?
What?
Is my body not my body?
What are you talking about? You making? Ain't nobody trying to rape nobody on this chat.
But that's what it said. But the entitlement, that's what it basically boils down to. Because it does. Have you ever men don't understand how it feels to be objectified daily.
And women don't understand how it feels to be a trick.
You choose to be tricked.
And you choose to be objectified.
You choose. No, I don't. I don't choose to go out and say, "Oh, you want some dick today? Hey, get a dick pic." I don't ask for these things. These are not what I'm asking for. I ask for loyalty. I ask for communication. I ask for honesty.
All right. So for going back to the original disagreement, if you're talking about a subject, it's best to talk about people within that subject matter. So yes, I have dated girls with their own cars, houses, jobs, and everything else. But when talking about being flued out, we're talking about the people that are being flued out. So hit dogs holler. And if it doesn't apply to you, then it doesn't apply to you, and you shouldn't have to make a point to say that it doesn't apply to you.
So let's take this real life scenario.
Chantel?
Chanel.
Oh, Chanel. I'm sorry. Chanel.
Yeah.
So sorry. Let him finish, just so it can be a constructive conversation.
So if we're talking about people that are being flued out, and that's the topic of conversation, then the people that we're discussing are people that get flued out. Or if we're talking about that subject matter. So it doesn't mean that, Rich, you only have ever dated girls with no cars. I've dated professionals, I dated lawyers, doctors, the whole shebang. People with their own car, shit nicer than mine. So that's not about.
And do you expected sex from them?
We're talking about a specific person in this specific conversation. So let's keep this conversation to the people that this conversation would. I communicate with people. I just told you I've been on dates with women, and if they told me that they had to get their dog walked at 4 a.m., then I'm gonna make sure you're home to walk your dog at 4 a.m. So obviously the conversation doesn't apply to all.
After you get the sex, though.
Huh?
After you got the sex.
Be nice, Chanel.
And,
I'm just trying to understand, because men act like they can't be friends with females without sex. Like that's where I get that they feel the entitlement that we're not even at a class where if we're not giving a man sex, then I don't want nothing to deal with you.
Well,
like
you can't come in this chat with your insecurities and start talking about how niggas treat you. Because
I'm not talking about me.
I'm gonna tell you what's happening right now. you just went on a whole tangent about how dudes don't do this and don't do that and what you all do. So maybe you're in here and you're right now exuding all the insecurities that you own, and now you're bringing them out on me through a conversation. I don't know you from a can of paint. I don't know what your relationships entail. All I know is what you're saying right now.
And hit dog collar, as you said. So you're trying to say that men are willing to be friends with females without any expectation of sexual.
You just one of my best friends just got off the chat. What are you talking about? Me and Moniece.
And y'all was in a relationship, right?
What? No, we're not in a relationship.
Y'all never had a relationship?
Yes, we did, and we're friends,
okay.
which speaks to it
okay.
even more. I have a bunch of girlfriends. I have a bunch of friends that
a plethora that you probably got put in a friend zone. Like men don't just choose to be in the friend zone.
What? Yo, let me tell you something. Sweetheart, beloved, you're damaged.
There you go again.
You're damaged. Because now you're talking about holistically. You're right now you're going on a whole tangent and you're in a macro. You're talking about all men. Of course I have friends. I
don't use definitives. I don't use the definitives.
Of course I have friends that are women. Just because no nigga want to be your friend don't mean that other men don't have friends.
Hold on.
Now you do know. So you know me or you don't know me? You talking like you know me.
I'm just going by what you said. You're talking about
I'm
men.
speaking in a generalization. I'm speaking in a generalization that you're telling me that because you spend a little bit of money, people have plethora of money. We got PPP loans. They got scamming. It ain't nothing for somebody to slide somebody. That $1,100 is killing you. You just got broke off $1,100.
No,
there's more than that in the city.
Hold on, Chanel. This for one.
Right.
Chanel. This show is to provide insight from a man's point of view. You watch the show, so you know that. One thing we don't do on this show is, for lack of a better way to put it, we don't try to intentionally hurt anybody or say anything. Our goal is to help. Right. So with that being said, this conversation, and I love some of the things you were saying for certain, but it's starting to go in a different direction, and it's taking.
Because Rich be agitated with me for no reason.
But it's taking the whole show out of context of what posed to be. So with that being said, we got to end this here, because I don't want anybody watching this or even Rich to be upset and a misunderstanding.
That was never my intentions.
Okay.
I'm not upset. All I'm saying is don't come in here exuding your shit because niggas don't want to be your friend. So don't generalize.
You missed my point, but it's okay. Some men don't understand because they're in a still of a place of healing. It's cool. I wish you nothing but blessings. Y'all be blessed, babe.
Where you coming in from, Chanel?
Who they? Cincinnati.
Shout to Cincinnati.
Well, somebody in Cincinnati be Chanel's friend. Take her for a drink and don't try to fuck her.
Okay. But you want another one, Rich? We got 15 minutes.
I want all the smoke tonight. Let's go.
No. Let's go. We got 15 minutes. Let's get as many callers as we can.
Kathleen Ivory. Is Kathleen Ivory in the building? And I want y'all to stop acting like I'm upset. I talk like this. This is how I talk. It's been like this all my life. But if y'all haven't known that by now, then something.
Well, no, you're just like me, Rich. You're passionate, but people be like, "Yo, Sean is on 10." I'm like, "Yo, this is just the way I talk. Calm down."
Tanya Hunt. So now we can't. LaTanya Hunt. Is LaTanya Hunt in the room? Guess not. Let's go with EM, Miss Perv. Why isn't it letting me let people in?
Hold
Oh,
on. Somebody just got in, Rich.
what's up, mama? Where you calling from? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Calling from Connecticut.
What's up, CT? What part?
Stanford. I'm in Westport right now, though.
Okay. Waterbury, what's good?
What's good? Oh man, y'all it's getting saucy on here. Yeah, nah, I'm listening. Y'all. So y'all was talking about the flown out situation. I'm the type of female. I'm gonna let it be known from the rip. Like I'm not giving it up. But I'm gonna let you know that. I'm not gonna just have you fly me out and we ain't have that conversation. I'm be like, listen, we could kick it, we could have fun, we could laugh, we could vibe. But you're not getting that because at the end of the day, that's just a way I carry myself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like men that like push the issue, it depends on the woman how she carrying herself in that situation. Now, if you carrying yourself in a way that where the man's gonna want to disrespect you, then you're gonna get disrespected. But if you respect yourself, you carry yourself the right way, and he's still disrespecting you, which I think is kind of the situation in that story with the female that got flown out, then yeah, you gotta have your own bag. Cause then how you gonna carry yourself through that?
But
You know what I'm
hold
saying?
on.
And that's where she
You know
messed
you
up. You
gotta
gotta be
ask
a
a
grown
question.
woman.
You know you gotta ask a question during this segment. That's what this segment
Oh,
is
I'm
for.
sorry. This like my second time watching this show, so I don't really know the rules.
Yeah, now the rules are like we allow the callers to come in and ask questions and get our perspective just from a man.
Okay. Do you feel like
Finger one real quick.
You ain't gotta make one up. Just watch next week and call in with a question.
For sure.
All right, mama.
All right, y'all.
Later.
Later.
See how nice and calm and collected that was? All right, here we go. Black American. Uh-oh. Black America.
And by the way, Rich, it's dark where you're at.
World.
What's
You hear
going
me,
on,
Rich?
Richie? What's
What's up?
going on, Sean?
We don't know who
We
you are.
we can't hear
Y'all
you with
have
the
certain
mask.
things.
Hold on. What's up, guys?
What up? Who we got?
Listen, this is Black American Goddess out of Cali.
Oh, what up, girl?
What's up, girl?
What's up? I'm just tripping on how y'all was talking about these niggas, man. Or brothers. I don't even want to say the word niggas, but brothers, because they just be on something. But at the same time, you gotta be on what you on too, to actually identify what they on. So I'm saying this to say I agree exactly what y'all saying. Like, if you don't step out there and let it be known, like right then, this is not it, then it's possibly he's gonna believe that that's it. And I say that because I'm here at the transit right now, right? I just got back home here, right, in Cali. So while I'm here at the transit, instead of me waiting to go back to LA, I'm at the transit here. I had a dude of mine like, hey, you could just ride back up there with me. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? He was like, and just stay at the crib. Just do that. I was like, you know what? I said, yeah. I said, but he said, but I'm gonna tell you. It didn't take long for the conversation to get heated. He said, I'm gonna tell you now. I'm definitely I'm looking for a woman. I'm looking for somebody that's good and it's gonna be nice and somebody I can have around and I'm gonna want to be with you. I'm gonna want to sleep with you. In other words, and I'm like, well, nah. I was like, you got the wrong one right here, baby. It's not that type of party, because he number one, he was transparent. He was true, and of course he was upfront. But to me, as a woman that knows my worth and my value, I took that to be very disrespectful. You understand? Because for you to come to me just because you're volunteering for me to come with you instead of waiting at the transit to get back to LA, I can ride with you and just stay at the crib before I go back to my crib. But you are expecting something with that of your offer that you're offering. I'm not needing this. This is the offer, but he's a man and he's entitled to what he's entitled. And if you don't step in and say, okay, hey, either I'm going to go ahead and take this transit and do what I'm doing, or I'm going to go back with this man. Whether he told me or not, like he told me up front what his intentions
What the hell are you
was,
talking about?
I had already would have known that would have been his intentions because that's a man. That's what men do. But women gotta be more on their game, baby. They gotta stay tuned and be focused and not be trying
Black
to.
American goddess.
Yes.
You ain't asked the
Have
question yet.
you have been on this show multiple times. You know you were supposed to come in here with a question.
I know. So my thing and my question would be, why would a man feel so entitled without even being told that he's entitled? Why? Why is it acceptable? Why?
I don't think I understood that question.
You don't understand the question.
No,
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Like, just ask it a different way.
So, as you're sitting up here talking right now, we're talking about a man being entitled to this woman because she was flown out. Okay. Just. But the difference with that, the man didn't tell her, he told me. But either way, what gives a man that entitlement?
What gives a man the entitlement is
to
that
feel like
we all know what being flued out is. So if you're going to abide by the rules, the unwritten rules of being flued out, then you know what you're getting yourself into. It is your job to change the rules if you don't in fact want to play that game. So if you don't want to have sex on a flued out situation, it might behoove you to do that and make that known before you get on that flight. Or else he will feel entitled. He's entitled because he bought to a flight. He's entitled because you got drunk on first class out on your way to where he's at. He's entitled because he picked you up at the airport. He's entitled because he got a hotel room for y'all with flowers and chocolate and shit. And he's entitled because this is what he anticipated. And it's not saying that you're wrong, not saying that a woman's wrong.
That's the key word. You just told me the answer.
We've been saying
He
the same thing.
anticipated. He anticipated something that he assumed that he was getting. You say that, oh, he flew her out. He had to get her there. He flew her.
Have you ever been flued out before? Have you ever been flued out before?
Of course, many times. But let me finish on what I'm saying.
So did you fuck when you got flued out?
Absolutely not.
Huh?
Absolutely not. I didn't have to. Because I went out there with
the
intentions on reasons of why I was being flown out.
Did you specify that before you left and got on that plane? So did that as
it wasn't no specification needed, because when I was flown out, we was flown out on business. So it was never no entitlement or an intention thinking there would be any sexual attraction to that. It was already business before the flight was even booked.
So why?
But what I'm saying to you,
why are we talking about a personal? Well, why are we talking personal and you talking about business? You on the wrong track.
We're not talking about any of that. I was making a metaphor for you and explaining something to you. What we're talking about is what you just said to me. You answered my question. I said, why do men feel like they're entitled? Why did he feel like he was entitled to this woman?
Have you ever been flown out on a
You just
personal
asked me
trip?
that, Rich. You just asked me that.
Have you ever been flown out on a personal trip?
I have been flown out on a personal trip, Rich.
Did you specify before you got there that nothing was going to happen?
Well, they knew nothing was going to happen before I even had to go, because I'm celibate. They knew that I haven't had sex in years. So
you're celibate.
They didn't have a reason to think that.
So you just made me and Sean's point for the whole night. Pleasure speaking to you. You let it be known that you were celibate before you got on the flight. So it was no need for you to get to San Diego or Dallas or wherever you got flown to and have a conversation. Because that's all we've been saying all night. You just made the point.
No, but you answered my question and you said you anticipate a woman to be with you for the material things that you were given. That's crazy.
If there's no conversation, it would be in most people's interest to go with what they want. That's a human nature act. If there's no conversation and you don't tell me that I can't have them cookies that's on the table, I'm going to take those cookies on the table unless there's somebody who told me no.
Okay, Rich.
Hold on, Rich.
That's that's
Hold on.
that's assuming, but okay, Rich. I'm not. I'm not.
I think that it Black American Goddess. I'm gonna say this, and thank you for always supporting our show. Let's start there. I'm not sure what just happened to you at the train station, so that's something that I'm not gonna discuss. But I do have a question.
No. I flew here anyway. Someone was
Okay.
trying to get me to leave from this location. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? But I
Okay.
wasn't quick to jump because I already
Okay.
knew what the entitlement, like Rich just said, would be. But go on.
Okay. And if you like I'm trying to be respectful. Please let's let each other speak, okay?
Go ahead.
Before you were celibate, did you have a boyfriend or a husband?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
That you were intimate with.
Yeah.
When you were intimate with this person, did you expect them to be with you and only you?
It's not about an expectation. It's about how they made me feel.
Hold on.
It's what they showed.
Hold on. I'm just asking you
No.
a question. Just did you expect that you would be the only person that they'd be sleeping with?
Of course.
Okay. There is an unwritten rule, again, that men know. Men know when a woman sleeps with them, whether she says it or not, she expects that this is the only box you're going to be in moving forward, unless we have the conversation and I say it is okay for you to sleep with other women or not. And that's all we're saying here. So I think that there are hundreds of situations where there are these unwritten rules that we all play by.
Yeah.
That they don't need to be spoken. It's just an understanding. And you know, it's as simple as that. But
Yeah.
I thank you for always supporting our show again, girl.
For sure.
Black
Much
American
love.
Goddess. That's why you asked on the train.
At least I'm on it.
Shut up, Rich.
Why is this topic turning into this? Is this not a simple conversation? We got 56 people wanting to get in this chat right now at 10 o'clock.
Okay, honestly, this thing about to be over, Rich, but everybody who comes in, you have to have a question. You have to. I know that this was a fiery conversation tonight, but this is not about your perspective. It's about a question. Let's go one more and then it's a wrap.
I'm trying to find some. Okay, Miss Janelle. Let's let Miss Janelle in. Let's see what she got to say. Miss Janelle.
Hey, yo.
How y'all doing? Good evening.
What's up, mama?
Hey, yo, for real.
Hold on a second. How y'all
Where
doing?
you coming in from?
Okay, so my question is, because I'm here with my partner. My question is, would you respect a woman more if she would be upfront? So I understand men have.
From Baltimore.
Yes, we're from Baltimore, Maryland. Would you respect a woman more if she was upfront? Because we were just saying to each other, it's like a contract. If you get flued out, it's like an unwritten contract. Whereas though, it's to expect you a woman. You gonna fuck. If you wanna fuck, you're gonna fuck. Okay, but would you be more accepting of, hey, if I'm not feeling the vibe within the first few hours, I don't really want to fuck. Would y'all respect that more?
Absolutely.
That's a great
Because I can't say that, people, if we're meeting for the first time, 9 times out of 10, you're probably meeting for the second time when you get flued out. Okay, y'all talk over DMs or whatever, text messages. But would you? I'm the type of person where I would say, If I'm not feeling you within, I would say the first 3-4 hours, most likely I'm not gonna fuck. I'm not gonna do nothing.
Let me. What's your name again?
Janelle, and my
Janelle. What
partner
up?
is Edward.
What's up with y'all?
Hold on,
What's your man's name?
Edward.
Edward.
Ed, what up, man?
Hey,
Okay,
what's up with you,
so,
Sean?
so how you, my brother?
Hanging in
And
there.
this is good perspective, right? If y'all were watching the show, and I didn't realize, Rich, that this was going, you know, it was going to turn into this. But if y'all were watching the show from earlier when we started, when we first had this conversation,
About
that was
Earth
one
Gotti?
of no. When we were talking about getting flown out,
Okay.
Okay.
one of the things that we said was if that woman had explained to that gentleman, look, you know, I appreciate what you did. You flew me out here, but I'm just not feeling it for whatever the reason is.
Mhm.
If she offered, not to say she would have done it, but if she even offered, look, because it comes down to acknowledgement. I understand you flew me out. I understand that this hotel room costs money. I understand I ate that lobster. I understand I've been drinking all night long. I understand that you picked me up from that airport. I understand it
My
all.
cousin up in here.
But for me, for whatever the reason is, I'm just not feeling this. And I will reimburse you. I don't want us not to be friends, but just please try to understand where I'm coming from. I thought I liked you, or I thought this was going to be something that dude would not have felt the way that he did. He wouldn't have. But for her to just sit there and say no with no explanation, you are butthurt because I don't want to give it up, and making him now feel like what every man don't want to feel like, I'm a mark, I'm a trick, you just use me. I think that's where that woman went wrong. If she would have
Right.
done what you just said and just explained it to him up front, I don't think none of this would have been a problem. Would he have been pissed? Absolutely. But he would have got over it. She just didn't give him the respect. That's it.
Can,
She
can I
treated
ask?
him like he's a mark. But go ahead, kid.
Can I ask y'all a question? So like R.I.P. to my man Nipsey, right? The real analogy of like the double up song, right? You may lose one, but if you double up, you could, you know what I mean? You can bounce back. And if you actually watch the visuals to the video, the analogy of it was like, homegirl dissing him, and then him coming back up, getting on his feet, and actually having a better joint and doubling up on the situation as far as like accepting, like, okay, you did tell me no. That's cool. So I'm going to double up on you compared to getting upset and, you know what I mean, shaming a woman for, like, not right now. What happened to the double up rule? You just going to be mad if Shorty say no? I'm not going to fly you out if I'm not going to get the cheeks anyway.
Who, you?
I'm just saying, like, if that was the case,
No,
if I
I'm
was
asking
saying,
you,
That's
Ed,
what he
Ed,
said, 'cause you ain't
Ed.
flying no
girl,
bitch
we've been
out.
together for a long time. Ain't
Okay,
nobody-
but answer the question. Y'all been together forever. I love the fact that you watching it with your wife. Would you fly your wife out? Would you if you flew her out the first time? Would you expect, if you spent your money, that there was going
Okay,
to be
so
something?
Can I tell you what I
so let
tell
me.
you what I said to
No,
you
So
while
on
I
our
was on?
first
let her
date,
talk, because she know you.
on our first date, I'm gonna tell y'all. On
You
our first
savage.
date, first of all, as adults, when you know who you are, you're willing to. First of all, let me just say, today in 2022, there's no conversations that are being had before you get flued out, or whatever, that are not about sex. It has to be somewhere along the lines
Babe,
of
tell her
sex.
what I told you on our first date.
So on
Though.
the first date, he did proposition me. We had a good time. He did proposition, like, I wouldn't feel no type of way if we were to, be sexual on the first night. And I'm thinking to myself, hell no. Like,
But my specific words was this: like, if we was to have sex, I would call you tomorrow. You know what men do is they get the cooch, and then they don't call back the next day. So I just presented myself because I knew I was going to be with her. Like, yo, even if we was to have sex tonight, I would call you tomorrow. Now I made that claim to be transparent. Just if that
But
wasn't go that way, huh?
that is our whole point, is the transparency and the communication.
yeah,
If
that's
this
the most important thing.
conversation, yeah, if this conversation hasn't taught anybody on this live anything, it is.
And just to answer, excuse me, and no, I didn't fuck on the first night. I fucked on the third, okay? Because I'm a grown ass woman. All right,
Yo,
this
chill,
is my body. I make those decisions. So just to
Are
clear
you
it up. In the
reacting
comments,
to
but
the comment?
we have been talking for a minute, so no, it's not like that.
what happened?
She said, "Why are we
You
gonna
talking
go
to people in the comments?
No, I'm saying, like, I didn't want people to think that I really did it on the first night. It was
Oh, no.
it's just something personal. That's all.
All right. Well, we appreciate y'all calling in, though. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I love the conversation. I wish there was more transparency like this because
Hey,
I'm
Rich, I
telling you.
respect what you were saying too, Rich. They don't understand savage mode. You heard me.
You heard?
Y'all have a
And make
good
sure
night.
y'all spread the word. Spread the word, and this will be up on YouTube tomorrow for everybody. All right, Rich. It's a wrap. We've been doing this for 2.5 hours, brother.
2.5 plus, but yeah. It went a little crazy tonight. I think the conversation, my comments stopped working, so it's actually worked in my benefit because my comments ain't working and I ain't heard people. They probably blasted off on me, but it's cool. It's actually cool.
I mean, I honestly, it's like I tell you. No, it's like I tell the callers. Don't focus on them comments, man. Let's stay true to the conversation. Let's stay true because the comments. I mean, we have really good people who watch this show week over week. But then, like anything else, it's those trolls. They talk about you and your comments, and they talk about me and my comments. But the last thing I'm gonna give you, and for the Sean trolls who jump on here week over week, thank you for even coming on this show. But if you think you're gonna get a response from me, you are out of your mind. So, Rich, do what I do. Don't even read them, and don't let them sway your opinion or your mood. At the end of the day, what we're doing is positive. What we're doing is good. We're providing great information, and let's just stay in our zone. God willing, everybody is really getting value out of these conversations. So, before I turn it over to you, Rich, this conversation will be up on YouTube tomorrow. It will also, and please go subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's the Official Boys Club. It will also be on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, just all of the streaming sites that's out there. So thank y'all very much. And Rich, you got the last word.
Yo, like Sean said, thank y'all for coming out. We had a good conversation tonight. It got a little spicy, but that's good. I mean, it means that we having a conversation with people who are passionate and it was a debate. So I'm never opposed to that. It's all in positive and it's all in love and it's all in good fun. It's just a good conversation to have with people. So like I say every week, thank y'all for coming out. Next week, Wednesday, 7:30. Same bad time, same bad channel. I'll see y'all next week. Sean, I'll hit you up offline.
Done deal. Peace, y'all. We love y'all. One.